Insert giant squid creature disc. Touch giant. I don't have a giant squid anywhere around here, but you want to see how I made this? That is correct, everybody. Today, as a sort of gift for a fellow YouTuber of mine, I am building Wild KRATTS creature power discs. I never thought I'd make these, but they're pretty simple if you follow the steps in this video, so let's get right to it. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go to Thingiverse, the place to find all of your free 3D files. Go to the search bar and search up Wild KRATTS. Now you have a few choices from what you might want to download, but the ones that caught my eye were these right here, so I'm going to click on them. Now these files have a few options for what animals you might want to make, as you can see on the side here. So we're going to download all files. Once you do that, they should be available in your downloads, listed as Wild KRATTS creature discs or something similar. And you have all these options here, but you want to go to the actual files. And now you have all the components that make up the finished discs. This is the base, so I'm going to open that. Now this is a program called Meshmixer. This lets you view and edit 3D files. This one right here looks a little rough, but that should get cleaned up once we open it in a slicer program. Now the next step is to hit File and Export, and we're going to export this Meshmixer file as an OBJ format or an object. So I've already done this, but you just name it what you want to name it and hit Save. Then what we're going to do is open up another free digital program called Ultimaker Cura, and this is a slicer program that's going to turn your 3D file into code that your 3D printer can read and turn into a 3D object. So we hit this File button, open up what we just saved, and there is that object. So you can print one, two, or as many as you want. If you have some kind of multicolor 3D printer, that would be great. But mine just prints one color at a time. I'm going to make this one red. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it off to the side. Then open up the same file again. There it is. These two are pretty close together. And then we are going to hit Slice. Now that was pretty quick because these are relatively simple shapes. More complex ones take a lot longer to slice. But that's only going to be 76 grams. It's going to take about 8 hours. We'll hit Preview. And as you can see, it's a lot more cleaned up. You can see the layer lines if you zoom in close enough. And then this blue stuff right here, that is a raft that this is going to sit on. That's just make sure that it adheres to the build plate really well. Now I'm not sure how other 3D printer companies do this, but my Ender 3 S1 Plus came with this SD card. So I put this into my laptop, and then it gives me the option to save to removable drive instead of save to disk. I'll do that, hit save, take this out, put it into this slot on my printer. Then I have the option to print it right there. All right, here's the 3D printer. We have the SD card in its slot. Now we just have to level the bed before we get to the actual printing. Now I'm not going to tell you guys all of the ins and outs, but essentially we go to settings and then we hit leveling. Now that's like a 5-minute process. I'm not going to have you guys sit here that long, but once it is leveled, we're good to go. We hit print, and then at the top here we have what I call KRATTS disk. You know, I don't want to give it its entire name, just abbreviate it so you know what you're printing, and then when it's done, about 8 hours later in this case, we will have 2 red discs. A couple hours later, and these 2 base discs are done. Now I need to print out those detail parts and glue them on, so let's get back to Cura. Hopefully you guys know the drill by now, but we open up another file. I call this the lines because that's pretty much what it is. It's all those like techie circuits that you see on the face of the discs. And eventually we're going to have 4 discs. I have 2 red ones, and actually I'm going to make 2 blue ones. But just for the sake of showing you the whole process, I'm going to make these first, print them out in white actually, and then we'll do some assembly. Here's a cool trick for when you want to make multiple copies of the same part. You click on the one you already opened, make sure it's highlighted, then you right click it, then you hit multiply selected. We're going to need 3 copies on top of the one we already have to make 4, so we hit OK. And now we have 4 of the same part, and 2 of these are going to go on the reds, and then we have 2 more that are going to go on the blue discs when I print them out eventually. Now, when you're 3D printing, you want to make sure you're doing it in the most cost-effective way. So you're getting the most out of the things you make without wasting any filament. So here I have all of these parts oriented pretty close together. So I'm going to go to preview because I already sliced it. It's telling me it's going to take 5.5 hours. Hit preview. And this looks pretty good. I think I can actually scooch these a little bit closer together just so I save on material that's going to be put into that raft. So we're going to go back to prepare. Then we'll hit this and slide it this way just a little bit. Try not to overlap anything. Okay, I did a little bit more orienting just to be sure that I was getting the most efficiency out of the print. So now it's telling me it's going to take a little over 5 hours and about 47 grams of filament. So we save to removable drive, and we hit eject, and then we can remove this right here. And now that file is on here, and I can put this into the printer. Here we go. A digital file has become a 3D physical object. Now I just need to crack off all these little pieces off the raft, and then we can super glue them onto the base. Then I copied the exact same process for all those little icons that go in the middle of the discs. Okay, that is the whole process of making these wild KRATTS creature discs. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the red ones on screen right now because I've already given them to my good friend Gonna Go Wild, who runs the YouTube channel KRATTS Universe, and we actually have a collab video I linked in the description. It was a good video. We had a lot of fun making it, and in it you can see me actually handing off those red ones to him as a gift. But what I can show you is this blue one I made. So this is the giant squid creature disc. Came out pretty clean if you ask me. But this whole thing is just a really simple project you guys can build at home, and unless you don't have a 3D printer. But in that case, maybe someday I'll print these out and sell them on an Etsy store or something like that. But that is going to be the video. So absolutely destroy that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe as well, and adios.